Hi, Charles Cherney here with The Real Deal, episode 15. And today's question is, what actions can a seller take if their house hasn't sold? So I wanted to share 5 things to think about. Number 5, seller might consider changing agents. Now, it's not every listing agreement contract that can be upended or broken. But if the agreement is nearing the end of its term, the seller may want to consider if they feel like they're in the right relationship with the right agent to sell the house. It's an important relationship, that between listing agent and seller, and you want to just make sure that the agent is engaged in the process and involved in helping you seek to achieve success. Look, I get that the easiest thing in the world is to blame the agent, and it's not always true that it's the agent's fault, but it may be, because the relationship between agent and seller is all important. So, ponder who is listing the home for you and make sure you feel it is the right person. Number 4, clean up the front entry. So first impressions do matter. Take a look at how the house presents to the person arriving literally on your doorstep. It may mean you need to paint the front door or replace the mailbox or the porch light, or attend to freshening up the landscaping, or add some life to the front porch, just so that upon arrival, the buyer or the potential buyer has a good feeling about the place as they perhaps await their significant other who's joining them for the showing, or just as the agent opens the door to begin the visit. First impressions matter, so take a look at your front entrance and make sure it is tidy and inviting. Number 3, and this is sort of a continuation of what I've just shared about the front entry, but you'll want to consider if you need to or can in some capacity freshen up the exterior or interior. So outside, that might mean, landscaping. It depends on the season, of course. In the winter, it might just mean that you have done a good job of shoveling the snow so people can get to the door. In the summer, it might mean cutting the grass or trimming the hedge. There's, of course, depending on the season, the possibility for adding flowers for life. So on the outside, you want to be as well put together as possible. And I understand there are constraints for people in this regard, but you do the best you can. And on the interior, maybe you just need to walk through your house again and just discover if there's anything amiss that you can make right. Perhaps you need to tidy up a bit more, or you have an extra room on the lower level that's sort of a storage room, but if you put things in storage off-site, you could make it an additional room that would appeal to buyers as a home office or exercise room. Maybe the lights are not all uniform and of the same, brightness, and you could easily solve that by going through the house and replacing lights as needed for a sort of uniform light field in the home. These sort of things can help for sure. So ponder that. Number 2 on my list is you might even want to consider hiring a stager to walk through the house with you to help you determine if you are showing to best advantage. So yes, stagers work with empty homes to bring in furniture, to bring life to the space. But if you're living in your home, you can also have a stager, assist you with the presentation of the home and where the furniture's placed and where you have artwork. And, with a few edits, if you will, it could be that your home ends up showing much better because a stager has met with you and assisted you with how you're improving the look and feel of the home. And then number 1 on the list, no surprise, is you could consider reducing the list price. It's not rocket science in most instances. And the reason very often a house hasn't sold, not always, but very often, is that it's just simply priced too high. So remember, pricing is a collaborative process between you and your listing agent, and it should be informed by an understanding of the market conditions, the relevant competition, and the home's recently sold or under accepted offer that paint a picture of value at your home. Understood that every seller feels their home is unique. In fact, that's true of every home. No 2 homes are the same. But, there's always a context in which a home is offered for sale, and it's essential that you have a clear understanding of where your home sits in the market and how it's being perceived by buyers. If it hasn't sold, hopefully you have some feedback. And don't be surprised if feedback is informed on some measure or level about price. So again, those are 5 things you can do if your house hasn't sold. Now, mind you, You can consider these things even before you list for sale. And you won't need to change agents if you choose the right agent to begin with. You won't need to eventually clean up the front entry if you do so before listing for sale. Similar with regard to how the home presents. If you get it right out of the starting block, it's much more likely that you're going to sell your home and not be still trying to succeed in doing so. My name is Charles Cherney, and I'm here to help you sell for the best price or buy the right home. Reach out at any time if I can be of assistance to you as you consider succeeding with your sale in the Cambridge and Somerville market. Be in touch. Take care.